Good morning, Nick. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good afternoon.
Hey, man. Yeah, here we are. Welcome to I Hate Music once again. This is kind of nuts. We're recording 2 episodes in 2 days, one after another.
It's amazing what technology can do for us. And if it works and it sounds well, I think that's a pretty good option for us.
For sure. Yeah, we're kind of like, just checking out different options for remote recording and all that. And this is kind of like a last minute idea because we were thinking about music festivals and talking about music festivals.
Yep.
And so, yeah, Nick and I are going to MDF in May this year. And we're also going to Hell's Heroes in March, right? March, yep. And so we're talking about music festivals.
I'm so glad you can join me for that. Us. Just me and myself.
Me, myself, and I, and Jason.
All 3 of us. So glad you can join. It's amazing.
I mean, it was a few months I was debating, and then I was like, fuck, like I should just do this. I want to do it. So I did it. So we're going to go to these 2 festivals this year, and Nick and I have gone to MDF together in the past. We went to Migration Fest in the past.
Yep. And those times I've joined you in Europe for your shows and stuff, some of those were festivals. But...
Yep. Different Aglock shows in Europe and stuff like that. And we've just attended a ton of shows together, outside of festivals. And so we're like, it'd be cool to spend a few minutes talking about festivals since it's been on our brains.
Totally. The lineup for Hell's Heroes is quite impressive. We got Sodom, Queensryche playing a Warning set, Candlemass with a Nightfall set, which is exciting. Because we just saw Candlemass not too long ago, and they didn't play a lot of that older stuff. So that'll be good.
A few songs, but not too much.
Yeah. Solitude Eternus. Man.
I'm excited about that one, man.
Man, because they haven't played, I don't know how long.
Yeah, like
15,
a really
20
long
years,
time.
If ever.
Yeah.
I don't know how many tours they've actually done. I saw them actually play with Merciful Fate back in 94, I think. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
And I'd never seen them since then, and I doubt they even played very many fests or anything, so...
Yeah, no, that's cool. That'll be really cool. I got to revisit those records. I haven't listened to those records in years and years.
I just love that powerful melodic doom, So good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that. Autopsy's doing a Severed Survival set, which I'm really excited about.
Rotting Christ, it says old school set, whatever that means.
I know, old school set. Like, I'm hoping that's Triarchy and before.
I hope so. Jesus, Triarchy's such a great album, dude.
Non-Servium and Die Mighty Contract stuff. I would love that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Forbidden, Dawnbringer, sorry to interrupt. Yep, that's amazing. And you're going to see them next month, so that's cool too.
Yep. Yeah, excited about Forbidden. I'm curious to see them without Russ, the vocalist, the old vocalist.
Yeah.
That changes so much when you have a new vocalist in a band.
Well, and that guy is, his voice is unique too. Pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. So I don't want to say I'm skeptical because I'm not. Like, I'm excited either way.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's strange, so we'll see. I think it'll be fun no matter what.
It's an interesting mix, a lot of it is like this traditional metal kind of stuff, Doro and Tank and Omen and stuff. And then you've got Demolition Hammer and Rotting Christ, it's
right.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. It does seem to be pretty heavy on like the kind of traditional metal type stuff.
Yes. Hellstar Watchtower. Oh, man.
With Jason McMaster.
Yep, Hellstar, cool. I love them. Nosferatu said it says, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Nosferatu. I just saw yesterday there's like an after party too.
Okay, cool.
With some bands that I don't even remember what they were.
Like after one of the shows, or?
Like after all the shows.
Oh, every night then. There's an after party.
It seemed like it. It was like, if you like to stay up late, here's some more bands.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Nice. I've never really spent any time in Houston, so that'll be interesting too.
I've toured through there a little bit. All I remember from Houston is not very many trees, very hot, and barbecue.
Nice. Well, hopefully we can experience the barbecue and not the hot.
That's what I'm hoping for. But it's outdoors, right?
Yeah, that's right. The venue is just one venue, right? Just one large place.
I think so, yeah. That's what it looks like. And it's 3 nights, right?
Yep.
Do you know the headliner for each night?
I don't.
I think it was Queensryche one night.
Yeah, I saw that at some point, but I don't have it in front of me here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's Sodom, Candlemass, and Queensryche each night.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Eternal Champion, dude. Those guys are great.
I know very little about them. I've just heard about them.
It's very like, almost Manowar. Like the guy has no shirt on. He's showing his muscles and stuff. I love that.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wonder if there's some, homoeroticism happening with that kind of thing.
Oh man, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah,
talking about like Manowar and that shit and the homoeroticism there. And I mean, there is. I mean, whether they intend for it to be or not, there is.
Yep. Yep. And what is it that I like about that? Does that make me on the spectrum?
Everybody's on the spectrum somewhere, Yeah.
Well, I am, those 80s muscle-bound movies, I do enjoy. I like Arnold and I like Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
And all those things. And I wonder if that has something to do with it. Just like Sword and Sandals movies and those kind of larger-than-life action heroes that we grew up with.
I think so. I mean, I think they kind of feed into each other, Manowar and Schwarzenegger.
And Mr. T, man.
And Mr. T, yeah.
Amazing.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, that'll be cool to check out. I don't know Eternal Champion at all. But it's not like my typical metal fest to go to. It's way more like trad metal and like, I don't know if there's like any power metal necessarily, but it's more of that like Doro and that type of stuff is just not in my wheelhouse whatsoever.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised you were interested. I mean, I know there's a few bands that you'll like for sure, but I'm glad you're going to check out the rest.
It'll be interesting to see stuff that I'm not very familiar with and in a scene that I'm not very familiar with. And, I just have fun. It's like go to a town I haven't really been to very much and like hang with you and have beers and watch metal. Like,
oh, dude.
Like, I mean, whatever. Like,
nothing better than that. There's going to be a lot of denim and I'm going to bring my vest, dude. I've got all the patches on it now. I'm ready to go, bro.
You're ready. I don't have anything like that. I can be the guy that sits in the corner without any patches.
Yeah, you're going to be the only one.
Yeah. No, it'll be really cool. I'm excited. It'll be fun. And then we got MDF in May.
Oh, man.
I think that's Dismember is now confirmed.
Amazing lineup, dude.
My Dying Bride.
Yep. Abath. Bloodbath. Dismember, you said. Sodom. Again. Forbidden again.
Yeah.
Gorguts. Primordial.
Oh, yeah. Spirit Possession.
Arcturus. Cryptopsy. Oppressor, dude. Oppressor's coming back. That's really incredible because that's been 20-something years since they played.
Spectral Voice.
Soylent Green. Kind of like them. Broken Hope. We talked about them.
Oh, yeah. Broken Hope. Yep.
Man, there's so many great death metal bands. Then a lot of stuff we'll be probably surprised about, too. Good.
Yeah, it's always cool to check out some new stuff, too. Isn't Stabbing playing? I think they're playing.
Yep.
I want to check them out.
See them on here. Some of these logos I can't even read. It's almost like I wish they would list it. It's hard to...
Right, they have like a list and like a logo.
Yeah, flyer. They just have the logos here, and it's like, oh man, it's getting crazy with the logo design. We could do a whole episode about that, too.
Sanguinis Gumagabog.
Yeah, their logo's amazing, dude. Well, like Blood Incantation. It's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. No, it's basic. I mean, it does say Blood Incantation, but it's basically a symbol. Like you see it and you recognize it.
Nice.
You're not like reading it,
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting way to think about it. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. There's a band called Sissy Spacek playing.
Yeah, Sissy Spacek. I'm kind of familiar with them. I think that has John Weiss in it. I think maybe some crossover from the noise scene there, I believe.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a cool band name.
Yeah, Sissy Spacek. A lot of the noise people, they like naming projects after like famous like actors and stuff and actresses from the 80s. Like my friend Nick Loicano, he was in a band that had an album just called Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, wow.
Or no, it was Anthony Michael Hall Shotgun Revival, I think.
Oh, amazing.
Something like that.
Amazing. Wow.
But like it's a thing. There was a Molly Ringwald at one point in time, I think.
I think there was a John Travolta one, too. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. John Travolta. Yeah, you're right. I can't think of it either.
Yeah, that's hilarious that's a trend in certain scenes or whatever.
I kind of like it. And now there's like Lana Del Rey's.
That's good.
Yeah, they're playing Roadburn this year, I think.
Holy shit, that's really good.
Yeah. Speaking of Roadburn, you have not been to Roadburn.
No, dude. And 15 years ago or so, that was very, very, very high on my list. And I'd love to go now even. But at that time, dude, it was hitting hard back then.
Yeah. They're still doing some great stuff, but they've changed a lot. They're focusing a lot more on, it seems to me anyway, they're focusing more on kind of like electronic and not so much like metal stuff as they used to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It seems like now, like Moonbladder would be more appropriate for Roadburn than Agalloch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that'd be cool to get the invite for that. Because you guys have played that as Agalloch, right? A few times.
Yeah, we played it 2012 or so. And that's actually, I have a little note here to ask about favorite festival experiences, and that's one of mine for sure.
Yeah.
Was that night, I'm sure I've talked about this on I Hate Music a few times, but it was Agalloch, Oliver, Voivod, and Killing Joke all in one night.
Amazing.
And that was a hell of a lineup, great show, super well-run festival, amazing venue. Walter from Roadburn is just the best. It's just all the way around great experience. Definitely a must go.
Well, I think it started like I remember back in the day. It was like on April 20th, and it must have started as some kind of stoner festival or something.
Oh, 420?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And it'd be interesting to know the history of it because it has evolved a lot. And I think you guys were involved in like a curation of the stage over one of the nights and stuff like that.
No,
right? No,
I mean, we've talked about that and we wanted to do that, but we've never actually done it. But that would be cool. I mean, they do invite people to be like, okay, this whole day.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, you curate like the bands, you have like art exhibits, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I love that they do that, you know. It's pretty cool that a band could probably bring some obscure artists with them and expose people to those things. Yeah,
I think when we were there, I want to say it was curated by Voivod, and so they had next door to the venue, they had an art gallery with all of like Away's paintings and shit like that.
Wow.
And then I think they picked some of the bands. Yeah, I can't really recall, but yeah, it's a really cool concept and something that I would love to be a part of. We just haven't done it.
Well, it's still going pretty strong, so there'll be a time. Yeah. There will be a time.
Yeah, maybe so. What about you? Favorite festival experiences?
That's pretty easy for me. That was the first time I went to Wacken in 2000.
Yeah.
You know, at that time I was pretty high on a lot of that power metal stuff, Iced Earth and Stradivarius and Blind Guardian and stuff like that, you know. And those were, at that time, those bands were not touring in the U.S. They would go to Europe, especially like a band like Iced Earth, and play to 5,000 people in Greece, but in America they couldn't play, fill a small club, you know. It was such a dichotomy between the fans over there and the fans here. So going over there and being exposed to that and that whole just like festival scene of being in a tent and like, you know, staying overnight on the grounds and getting drunk and just like meeting random people and just like feeling that brotherhood of metal. That's the first time I truly experienced that. It was incredible. Yeah. And I'm looking now at the lineup, and I don't really remember Thin Lizzy playing. Obviously, it was
Thin Lizzy
way past their prime, but yeah. So Thin Lizzy played, Iced Earth, Stradivarius, Morbid Angel, Nightwish. I remember Nightwish playing, and I was into them at the time. That was an incredible show because they're, you know, from Norway or whatever, Norway,
right?
And you know, tons of fans. They're playing it at nighttime to 15,000 people, and just like it's incredible to see that. Testament, Rhapsody played. I was really into them at the time. Annihilator, Overkill, Cradle of Filth, 6 Feet Under.
Oh, yeah.
But just being exposed to a lot of that German and European metal was really cool. Marduk played, stuff like that. Hypocrisy. Man, it was an amazing experience. And it was full on, like starting at like, you know, 10:30 in the morning, dude, and like going till midnight kind of thing.
Yeah. Got like 12, 14 hours of music.
Yeah, and depending on the year, it was raining. You know, I'd been a couple times since then, and it rains sometimes, and it's just like a huge mud pit. Like, you don't really even want to be there. It's not comfortable, but you drink enough beer, and then you get through it, you know? So, that was amazing. So, and I went the year after, 2001 as well. I don't recall who played that right now. I think Iron Maiden played that one. And then I went again in 2010, so I've been 3 times now, and man, really cool. Damn. And I'd like to go back, you know, just for the experience. Some of those bands are, I don't know, they're not really upgrading their lineups, you know, they're just using old traditional old bands now. I don't think they're putting a lot of newer bands on there. So still be fun to see, but just to feel that brotherhood and experience of a German metal festival is pretty cool.
Oh, man. Yeah, I haven't been to Wacken, but I've been to many German metal festivals. And the ones I've been to, like the things they have in common are usually in the middle of nowhere, in a big field, lots of mud, lots of cheap beer, lots of shirtless guys.
With kilts on.
With kilts on. A lot of throwing up. A lot of drinking horns. A lot of patches. A lot of people getting heat stroke. They're it's an interesting thing. I mean, I've played Partisan before. That one was awesome. We played with Bloodbath and Cannibal Corpse, and that was awesome. Man, it's hard to keep track of all of them.
Well, I saw one with you. I saw one with you. It wasn't it wasn't outdoors, but it was with Satyricon. I forget what. What show that was.
I have that listed as actually one of my favorites. And I think technically they called that a festival. It had a name. It was like the whatever fest. Totally. But it was just one night, and it was maybe 5 or 6 bands or something. But that is on my list of one of my favorite experiences. It was cool because, like, one, I hadn't seen you in a long time, and you were living in Germany at the time. And so you took the train over, and I got to hang out with you. And we had a big-ass pretzel. If I think of it, I'll post that photo on the socials. I have that photo of us with the big-ass pretzel from that night.
Oh, and I met your friend, and I slept in his hostel. He snuck me into his hostel.
Yes. Same tour, but different show, right?
Oh, that was a different show. Sorry.
Yep. But I think that was the same tour, I think.
Yeah, that might have been in Würzburg or something, if I remember.
That was Würzburg,
right. Yeah.
That was the Dornenreich tour that we did.
Nice.
But yeah, this was us, that band Enstila that we can never get rid of, that butchers pig fetuses on stage.
Nice.
And then the night was closed up by Satyricon, but it was supposed to be Satyricon and then Cradle of Filth. And Cradle of Filth canceled, and it was just Satyricon. But that was great. It was that night for Agalloch was awesome because we had extra time because Cradle canceled. And so we ended up doing like 3 encores or something because the people were into it so much. And then to do that, get off stage, and then see Satyricon, it was amazing.
Dude,
so good.
Yeah, that was an incredible night. I remember fondly. And I think that was actually the night where the first train back to my town was at like 5:30 in the morning, and the show ended at like midnight, and you got back on the bus and took off, I think. And I was just like, oh shit, what do I do? I didn't like have any money to afford a place or whatever. So I just went to the train station, had a couple beers next to me, and just waited it out. No cell phone back then. I didn't have one. I just sat there at the train station and waited.
I remember you told me like, I'm going to try to make it to the show. And like, I was just like, I think Nick might show up. And then you did. And it was like, okay, he's here. It's just so weird to think about that now.
Yeah, totally.
Nowadays, like I could like track you basically and know exactly where you are. But back then,
no kidding.
I think he's going to show up. I'm not really sure.
Oh, I think about it all the time, like how we met up with people and made things happen. It's just, it's unfathomable how we did that.
Oh, it is. Like, I always think about like, how do you find somewhere now? Like fucking like printing out a map from like MapQuest and shit. Like I can't even imagine doing that now.
And I would wait, somebody tells me, okay, I'm meeting you at 7 at this so-and-so place. I would sit there. Okay, 7:15. Damn, they're not here yet. I wonder if I told them the wrong directions. I wonder if I told them the wrong place. Maybe I told them at 8 o'clock. Oh man, you start second guessing yourself, and then you wait some more. 7:30 comes around. It's like, oh shit, I don't think they're showing up, dude. And then we wasted so much time.
But then you're like, if I leave right now, what if they show up in 5 minutes because traffic was bad?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've left, and then
so
everybody's
you wait.
Time is wasted.
At a certain point, you just kind of leave,
Yeah, how long do you wait? And then you can't text them. You have to like call him somehow, and then
yeah.
Oh,
and unless they had a pager, I mean, they're only drug dealers have pagers, bro.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Lad got a pager, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're going to have, like, people, like, contacting you all the time. I can't imagine having a device on me where people could get a hold of me all the time.
Yeah, why would you want that? That's terrible.
Yeah. And it was just a fucking pager, Yeah, that was, like, late 90s, I think. Something like that.
Wow, yeah. He was he was an important person if you had one of those.
Well, his wife was pregnant, and he was like, I want to know if, she goes into labor. So,
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a great time. That show was great.
Yeah, it was. Jeez, man, you guys played some amazing shows over there, and not all of them are festivals or anything, but just playing in Europe in general, it's just a different experience.
It is, and European festivals versus American festivals are much different too.
I never went to an Ozfest or anything like that, so I can't speak to it too much, but I do know that there's a lot more alcohol rules and shit, and I hate that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to like a ton here because there's not as many here, really. I mean, we have some pretty big ones, but they're relatively new. I feel like Europe really paved the way, especially with the metal festivals, and there's just so many. There's the big names that everybody knows, but like Agaloc's played these like no-name festivals in like Austria and Germany that are a fraction of the size of like a Wacken or Hellfest.
Yeah.
They only have like a few bands over a couple of days, but it's still like a festival.
Well, I think that's the way they do it over there. The tour becomes touring between festivals,
Oh, yeah.
And if you play one of those tours, and I know you can speak to this, you're kind of exclusive to Germany, for instance, or Southern Germany, or Northern Austria, or whatever. So, they want people to attract,
Yeah.
Because a lot of these festivals are limited. You're limited, right? If you play the festival, like there's probably some sort of radius they have or something where you cannot play any other shows in that area.
Yeah, and it depends on the festival. But yeah, that's the problem with like European touring in the summer. They have like all these festivals. Basically, you're playing the festivals on the weekends and you're trying to fill in the dates on the weekdays in between. But if you play, for example, Hellfest in France, you're blacklisted from playing anywhere around there for, say, like 500 miles for 4 or 5 days or something like that. So it's really hard to book. And so sometimes these routings get really crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to play shows when you're there to make money to support your crew and yourself, but you can't because of these blacklists. So
well, and as a band, you do want the opportunity to play to a larger crowd. So there's an advantage to playing these festivals. Your set list probably is only half hour, 45 minutes or something, which kind of stuff.
Yeah, it depends on the festival and all that, but
well, a band like you guys probably play longer, but
yeah, it depends on a lot of factors, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's why you get a tour manager that can help you route those things and negotiate those things, and
the logistics of it all.
But usually it's like a mileage limit. It's however many miles or kilometers, and it's however many days around your appearance. They do it in the States too. I know like Northwest Terrorfest does that, and which can be a problem because they're, Seattle's right in the middle of the Northwest. So they usually don't do it all the way to Portland, but sometimes they do.
Yeah.
But, you're looking at Vancouver, Portland. It's a pretty big market when you're touring.
Totally.
The two major cities that you have to exclude for a few days.
And I think that fest has been doing a pretty good job of attracting people from Portland and around surrounding areas.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're making the lineup pretty attractive. So
yeah, I think so.
What's that one this year, by the way?
That's Giant Squid is reforming.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And they're playing their first record in its entirety, which
Amazing.
would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to go to that. I would like to check that out.
We're talking about May sometime?
Let's
look it up.
I think it's early June, late June.
Okay, nice. Northwest Terror Fest.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah, because I did see the lineup, and I totally spaced it. May 9th to May 11th. Amenra, which is at the top. I don't even know. Amenra, sorry. Forbidden, Repulsion, and Weekend Nachos.
Weekend Nachos, yeah.
What the hell's that?
Chicago. Yeah, I think they're Chicago. I don't think I've ever heard them, but I just kind of assume they're one of those silly Midwest grind bands.
But to be headlining is a pretty big deal. I mean, they're at the top as far as the font goes. We should talk about font size.
Yeah, font size. That's important.
It is. I mean, some of these festivals, so many bands, it's like, how do they differentiate? Oh, dude, you're only a 12-point font? Fucking Forbidden's an 18-point font. Oh, man.
Right. We should at least be a 16.
Oh, God. Eternal Champion, Giant Squid, Summerlands. Nice. I like those guys. Blackwater, Holy Light, Immortal Bird. Now we're getting smaller and smaller here. A lot of these bands I don't know. So pretty cool, though. Large. It's bigger than ever this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they're getting bigger and bigger all the time. Last year they had Ludacris' first show in like 10 years. I think that was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's a great fest. I played it with Karada one time.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. The people that run it are really cool. It's a great venue. Great part of town, right in Capitol Hill there in Seattle.
Yeah, it's at two places now, Numos and Barboza, looks like.
Yep, those are both. It's like upstairs, downstairs.
Nice. Perfect. Oh, remember that place in Portland that used to do that, where the brewery is now?
Yeah, Don and I were just trying to remember the name of it. The upstairs place was Rature.
Yeah.
And
you guys played
the
bottom. You guys played that.
We did. Mm-hmm. Yep. And we were trying to remember the name of that place.
Nice. Yeah, I don't remember.
It had a weird name, so it's hard to remember all these years later.
I haven't been to that brewery in a long time.
I haven't either, but I like it a lot.
Me too.
Wayfinder.
Wayfinder, yeah.
Owned by, what's his butt from Relapse?
Matt.
Is it Matt Jacobson?
Matt Jacobson. He's a Sizzle Pie guy too, right? Yeah.
Sizzle Pie too. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's get him on the pod, bro.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be so cool to talk to him.
I'm sure we could.
I behoove all of you to check out the Northwest Terra Fest a poster, because the artwork on that is pretty incredible.
It is cool. Yeah.
I'm looking at it. It's like a elvish kind of lady possessed by trees, surrounded by mushrooms. Amazing.
Very Northwest.
So cool, dude.
I really like their logo, as cheesy as it is, having like Washington and Oregon with the upside down cross over
me
the two
too, bro. It really hits me hard. The simplicity, and I like it a lot.
It's really cool. It's, again, kind of cheesy, but it's just like, it's just so perfect.
Dude, I mean, I'm not putting a sticker on a car kind of guy, but I'm pretty close with this one.
I've seen it on a couple cars. I'm like, yeah.
Well,
the Cascadia flag too. It's so iconic. It's so perfect. Got the pine tree and the colors. Yeah. Very cool.
One festival that I have always been jealous that you attended was Milwaukee Metal Fest in the early days. So please talk to me about that, dude. Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. God, I can't remember what year it was. It was either 93 or 94. Okay. I went for the first time. I had just left Montana, just moved to Minneapolis, never been to a death metal show, barely even been to a metal show, really. We just didn't get that shit in Montana, especially, early 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was either 93 or 94. I want to say 93. Went to Milwaukee for the very first time with my friend Ladd, and we saw fucking Disincarnate.
Jesus.
Which is, I know, right? I mean, that's fucking crazy. Saw Thought Industry before I really knew who they were.
And you became a huge fan of those guys.
I'm a huge fan of those guys. Saw Enslaved before I really knew what Enslaved was about. I want to say that was like Frost era.
Wow.
Absu.
Jesus.
I saw Impetigo's very last show. Judas Iscariot.
Oh, remember them? They were all, they were well distributed. He had his own label or something, right?
Yeah. No, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
God, it's hard to remember the entire lineup.
But yeah, you saw like Milwaukee Metal Fest at its peak. That's incredible, dude.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse. The pit at the Cannibal Corpse show was insane. They closed with Zero the Hero, and I was like, I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it was probably 5,000 people in a circle pit, and it was just insane. I went 2 different years. The other year I went, saw Typo.
Nice.
And Pete was so drunk that he could barely sing or play. He was just downing bottles of red wine on stage.
Jesus.
He could barely even stand up. It was terrible.
Yeah.
The performance was not great. Megadeth I saw. No, I missed Megadeth for some reason. That reminds me. One of the little bullet points I put on my list for this episode was like biggest festival regrets. And my biggest festival regret is I don't know why the fuck this happened. I have no idea how it happened exactly, but that first Metal Fest I went to, Didi Ramone's band was playing, and he's like one of my biggest idols ever. And it was Didi Ramone and the Chinese Dragons, and somehow I missed their set.
Jesus. What happened?
I know. I was busy watching fucking, Mortiscald or something. I don't know what happened.
Mortiscald.
That festival was so poorly run. It was so disorganized.
You probably didn't even know he was playing,
I think I knew. I think like the schedule always changed, and it's it's partially just trying to organize that many bands coming in from everywhere. But totally. That fest was notorious for that type of shit.
That. Yep.
And the last year I went, they billed bands like Arcturus and Mayhem, and then it like turned out that they never even confirmed. Like they were just putting these names on the flyers to get people to come in.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
It was fucking ridiculous. And now they're back. Yep. I mean, it's under new management. But
yeah, what are your thoughts on that? It's interesting.
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's in the Eagle Ballroom too, right? Same spot.
Same spot. It seems unnecessary to me, and I don't know how well known their horrible reputation is, but in the Midwest, it was very well known that Jack Koshik was a huge ripoff. Yeah. People very much disliked him.
I mean, I think I had heard that as well, just from reading zines and reading reviews, maybe even Metal Maniacs talking about that,
So it seems weird to me that somebody would want to be like, hey, I'm going to take this over.
Well, I think it shows the nostalgia for that fest. It was a big deal. Right. It was the first extreme metal festival that there was, really.
And
So,
and I mean, you're right, but it's kind of weird. It's like, it's like, I'm going to make Trump look good now or something. It's just like, why not do your own thing? And I guess you're right. It's nostalgia and the history. And Milwaukee, it's like such a dying city. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff going on there. So it seems like it's not a destination.
Maybe that's part of it, is the city gave them money to revitalize this thing.
Maybe, but but I'm looking at the lineup and I'm like, Mr. Bungle and Anthrax and shit. I mean, like these are like big bands.
Well, it's Chimi Jasta doing this shit, right? I think he's the one that is running it. So he's got the connections.
He's from what band?
Hatebreed.
Hatebreed. That's right.
The Hatebreed guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of get it, but it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me too. I don't know. Like, Eagles Ballroom sucks. Milwaukee's really rough. I don't know. It just seems weird to me, but
yeah, it's a funny city, man. It's like being back in the 70s or something. A lot of it hasn't been upgraded and stuff. But I kind of like that. It feels kind of like an old working class town or whatever.
It's very much an old working class town. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't go to it, but I've also been to Milwaukee and lived there too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's not a great destination for you in your mind. So.
No.
And I don't think the lineup warrants traveling there this year.
No. But yeah, that's interesting to me. But yeah, back in the day, I mean, it was pretty insane. Emperor's very first American show was there. Yeah. Impelled Nazarene played there.
Oh, amazing, dude. So somehow they were organized enough to manage to get these bands over,
Yeah, but I think what happened is that they would do this and then rip off bands, and then the word got around, and then bands wouldn't play, and so they'd make shit up. And I went one year, I saw Dark Tranquillity. So I went 3 different years.
Amazing, dude. Dark Tranquillity in the gallery days, man. Amazing.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Dark Tranquillity. It was In Flames. That's who it was.
Still. Jester's Race. Oh, shit. So good.
Yeah. Atrocity.
Nice. Dude. Fuck. Longing for Death is so good. But it was probably after that. It was after that.
It was. They did nothing but their weird pop covers.
God damn it. Why'd they change so much?
That was weird. That's also when they got really into wrestling. And so they had a wrestling ring in like the middle of like the lobby area, so you could like watch these professional wrestlers and then walk over and go see In Flames.
Oh, so they were trying anything to get people there.
Yeah.
That's
saw
incredible.
The Gathering that year. That was way before I knew those guys.
Nice. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great fest from a fan standpoint. But also it was like the only thing I knew as far as a festival. Like I'd never really been to a festival.
Yeah, exactly.
Now like in retrospect, I'm like, well, there's so many better examples of like a really great festival.
But that one's, those early Milwaukee Metal Fest, I think were are considered now pretty classic. And like you were fortunate to be there as much as it was probably a mess or whatever. For sure. Well, yeah, like that first year, Keanu Reeves like introduced everybody.
What?
So
it'd be like Keanu Reeves on stage, and he'd be like, okay, like coming up next is all the way from New York City, Suffocation. It's fucking Keanu Reeves. Like, so weird.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, I saw Body
He
Count.
was at his height there. That was like the Speed days.
Yeah. Body Count played, and he did like
Nice.
a little thing with Ice Cube, and
Nice.
yeah, not Ice Cube,
Iced tea.
Ice T.
Come on, bro.
Well, I know. I get my ices confused sometimes.
No problem. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
an interesting question, though, about the regrets, though, about festival regrets. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I have any, like, local... There weren't a lot around us, so the regret would only be, I wish I had more money to go to Europe or something, you know?
For sure, yeah.
I
go see
regret
more
not seeing the
festivals.
Ramones. I mean, they were
Oh,
touring
yeah.
a lot in the 90s, and I just didn't... I don't know. I wasn't into it
I would
for
have.
that reason.
I would have gone if I could have, but I was in Montana. Could not.
I mean,
did
when
not
was
have the
their
opportunity.
when was their last tour? I feel like they were playing up until late 90s.
Mid 90s,
Okay.
mid to late 90s. Yeah, 96, 97, something like that, maybe.
I missed Gigi's last tour.
Oh man, I know.
92, I think that was. But he played Roseland, and I wasn't living in
I
Portland at the
know.
time, but that would have been pretty incredible.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome. We went to Migration Fest together, the
Yep.
first one
Dude, that was awesome. Good time.
in Olympia. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
God, who played? It was Obsequia.
Yep.
It was Vol,
Panopticon.
Panopticon,
Uh-huh.
Krallis,
Chemist.
Chemis. Yeah,
Yeah. Not Chemist. Might be a different
Right.
band.
right. Chemis.
Chemist. Full of Hell. I don't really know these bands that well, but
Are you looking it up right now?
nope. I'm trying to
Oh, you're
remember.
just- by memory. Wow. Yeah.
It was awesome though because that little downtown area of Olympia has some really great breweries and places to hang out. And seeing friends, Ramin came out from out of town, and all these people we normally don't see too often.
That was my favorite part, hanging out at Three Magnets with you and Don and Ramin and Tanner and Austin and
Yep.
Andy Winter. Like it was awesome just hanging out with all these people.
I had a good time with Andy Winter, man. Really
Yeah.
good time.
Guy's a trip.
Yeah.
Mournful Congregation played.
Oh, dude. Timbers. How many bands did Timbers play in that weekend?
I think literally like 3.
Yeah.
Night Fell.
Nightfall played, dude. They were great.
Yeah, that was so great.
Oh,
that
Vastum
was-
played as well, dude. Vastum.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Vastum killed it.
Dude, they were amazing.
I think it was that one day. It was Vastum and Nightfell, and they both just killed me.
Yeah, me too. And I was surprised because I didn't even know who Vastum were. So good.
I did, but I'd never seen them live. And seeing them, their vocalist is so he jumps in the crowd and he's screaming at people, and he's aggro, man.
Yeah, that band is pretty spectacular. Their
In
that
your
lyrical
face.
content is insane, dude.
Yeah. I haven't listened to the new one yet, but
It's
I
great.
will.
Yeah,
I like that band a lot.
me too.
I wanted to bring up the whole Lunasa Litha thing, which you have not experienced yet.
No, yeah,
But,
talk about that.
You have to go one of these years. This is like a whole different type of festival, really. Much smaller, much more intimate. Here in the Northwest, in Oregon and Washington, there's been a long-running festival called, it used to be called Thirst for Light, and they had to change their name, so they went with Litha Cascadia, had to change their name again, so now it's Lunasa Cascadia, and it's actually split off into 2 branches. So you have Cascadian Midsummer in Washington, and you have Lunasa Cascadia in Oregon. And these festivals they're not wholly unique anymore, because I think you have like the Shadow Woods Festival on the East Coast. But it's a totally different vibe. You have, you have big bonfires, you have smaller stages with only maybe a couple hundred people. You have people that come in with their crafts, and they do like artisanal meads and breads and foods. It's very much about it's a communal experience. Not that the other things aren't, but it's just a much smaller community.
Yeah, it sounds like the camping is kind of integrated into
Yep.
and the stage sets are integrated into the forest almost, which is a really cool idea.
Yep, you can camp like really close to the stages. Lunasa is very much about being integrated into the woods and being one with nature and celebrating the music and the land, taking care of the land. They have like workshops on the different flora and fauna around you. There's a river that runs right next to it. There's a lake right next there. They have like yoga classes, breathing classes. It's very, very Northwest.
Yeah, so cool.
Where like You're not going to find that shit at Wacken. You know, they're not going to have breathing classes before.
They're fucking Germans, dude. They don't do that shit.
Yeah. So it's a different experience, and it's very much about celebrating the solstice or celebrating, you know, these different pagan holidays and things like that. And but
I think they're even doing a winter. They a smaller winter one up there.
Yep, they do Cascading Yule. I think it's outside of Olympia somewhere. I haven't been up to that one.
Yeah.
But for me, there's a lot of similarities, but like one of my favorite memories was watching Alda at like midnight under just like a canopy of giant trees with a river that runs right behind the stage, and it's pouring rain in the middle of June, but we're covered from the rain by the trees.
Oh, awesome.
And like at the time, my daughter Ellery came up to me and she just like sat there, and we just watched Alda for a good hour set while it was just pouring rain. We're like kind of cold, kind of wet, but still comfortable. And they have these bars set up outside, so you just walk up to like these outdoor bars that are made out of logs, essentially, and they'll serve you like a little like hot toddy.
Amazing.
Sit there with it, and it's just an amazing experience. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, that sounds really cool, dude. I missed it a bunch of years here, and every time you guys talk about it, I get a little bit jealous inside. So
it's amazing. It's I believe Lunas is happening again this year. It should be the last weekend of July, I believe.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just like it's so different than the other festivals, but it's also very, very great.
Cool. Yeah, that's an example of like the modern kind of fest. It's very curated. It's very small, and the bands that come are specifically chosen, which is neat.
Yes. Yep.
And we had a Dungeon Synth episode a couple weeks ago, but that's happening too. Like there's a Northeastern Dungeon Fest and shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Those are a lot of bands are playing that thing, but it's just heavily curated into one certain genre.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, and those are like the Lunasa ones are all outdoors. Like, how do you feel about outdoor versus indoor? Do you have a preference?
I like being like outdoors if it's the weather was fine, but you know, a couple of times I've been to Wacken where it rained, or I've been, you know, we were at a show recently at that Nasal Rod show, and it was really wet and kind of undercover, but still really cold. And sometimes that distracts you, but if the power of the music can overcome that, then it's a beautiful thing. I love that, you know. Sometimes
it adds to it for me. Like, again, like at Lunasa, it's like you're outdoors, like you're in the woods. It's like an hour away from Portland. It's being like a little bit rained on, a little bit wet, a little bit muddy. It kind of adds to it for me.
Yeah, and I think you have to surrender a little bit to it, you know, just like you do at a concert, normal concert inside. You have to surrender to the music, just feel it in your soul or whatever. And
you have to be like,
if you're feeling vulnerable. The weather also, it's probably going to double the feeling, you know. I could totally get that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that.
Makes you a little bit more vulnerable, I think. But you know, on the flip side, like, I feel cozy in those situations. Like I like being bundled up. I don't.
I'm talking to a dude here that used to camp, like no blanket, no nothing, just right on the rocks.
Yeah, man. I'd sleep in a river. You know, no problem.
Well, I mean, those shows I worry about you playing with all your electronic instruments is like, dude, you're gonna get shocked out there, bro.
You get electrocuted. But you know, on the other hand, like MDF to me can be very uncomfortable when it's outside. It's like you're in a giant parking lot in fucking May in Baltimore. It's hot, it's humid, the sun is beating down on you for hours, for 12 hours a day. Like, none of those things equal comfort to me, where Lunasa, a lot of those things do equal comfort to me, or I can at least alleviate them somehow.
You're more suitable to that sort of environment under the trees and stuff. I think humans mostly are. Not sitting in a fucking blacktopped parking lot in the middle of Baltimore.
Yeah, but MDF, I don't think they have that parking lot stage anymore.
No, that one's gone. So evidently there's another smaller venue in that little center area there, which
something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, so walkable for all of it. Because before you had to take a bus. It was really stupid. We missed Obituary. The whole thing was a mess. Yeah,
it was a mess. But I have to admit that I am looking forward to not having to like stand in that parking lot.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, and the merch situation, everything was just kind of weird out there.
Too hot, too humid. Oh, yeah, just too much. MDF is what, 5 days?
Well, we're going to the pre-show, bro. So that's a Wednesday, and then the main show is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Can you believe that?
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be 5 nights.
That's right. So do we have tickets to the pre-show?
Yep,
we
do,
bought
right?
Those.
Yep.
Okay.
We did.
And is that Sodom?
Sodom and Atheist. Yeah, dude.
An Atheist?
Yep. Sodom and Atheist.
And that's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. Sodom, Atheist, Melekesh, Midnight, Morpheus Descends. This is all the pre-show. Incredible.
Oh, shit. That's amazing. I was just... This sounds really weird. I was just texting with Kelly the other day, and he's like, dude, like, next time we play, like, let me know. Like, we'll hang out. So I didn't realize they're going to be at MDF.
Dude,
so that's
hang
awesome.
Out. Let's hang out with that guy.
Yep. Kelly's a really old friend.
I have a FMK, a Fuck, Marry, Kill for you for a festival edition.
Ooh, yeah. I think I'm almost there.
What do you mean?
I mean, I had like a list of festival things to talk about here.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're getting eager here. Actually, I
didn't want
one
the
more.
timing of the iPad or the episode to go too long. So
you didn't want the iPad to be too long?
My iPad's wearing out. It's at 66%, dude. Very metal.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, mine's at 666%.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. No, I wanted to bring up quickly another thing that happens around these festivals is things that are not part of the festival, like food, beer, comfort, lodging.
You end up like really being out of your comfort zone, which is fine.
Yeah, so like my only experience with like camping and a festival is the whole Lunasa situation. I've never done like a camping at Wacken.
Yeah.
Or like the couple times I played Ragnarok, like we were on a tour bus. I've never really done that in like large festivals. I imagine something like Wacken, like camping there is just...
It was a fucking mess, dude. And it was like, put your tent wherever you can. So you end up putting your tent, I have a little space here. And then the first night you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, there's a fucking tent like right at your exit. There's like, there is no space. All of a sudden you are completely packed in and the whole thing becomes a mud fucking disaster. And I ended up just ditching my tent. I think a lot of people do that. They buy tents that they know what they don't want for more than this weekend or whatever. So they just leave them. And the disaster zone that is left behind is really sad, you know?
Oh, I bet. Man. That's
but
insane.
As far as food and stuff, it's just like, I'm a prisoner to this festival, and I'm kind of I have to just eat this sausage over and fucking over again. Luckily, it's Germany, and you get some pretty good sausage and some mustard and shit, but
for sure.
But and some pretzels here and there, but mostly it's just beer.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah, year before when we went to MDF, I learned a hard lesson. We went to that one little cafe, and like that whole time I was like, let's just check this place out, Nick. Let's just check this out. And I got this open face Reuben thing. It was one of the grossest things I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
But
you never know, man. We had to try.
You never know. You never know. But that first night we went to that weird place. We got the blue crab chowder.
Yep, that was great.
Pizza.
That was the only time we had crab in Baltimore, which is what it's known for.
But it was really good. It was really good crab.
And there was a metalhead doing some karaoke.
Yep, he did. Painkiller, Judas Priest. Yeah. I think he did Painkiller.
Yeah.
And then all those R&B kids were like singing all these like amazing R&B songs.
They were really good. Yeah.
They're all like so fucking good. It was just. Yeah. Man, that was an awesome and surreal time. And then we went to that pizza joint, and that dude comes up to us, and he's like, what the fuck is up with women getting paid as much as men in soccer? And we're like, what?
Where was he coming from? Like, why did he think we were the audience for this?
Yeah, so like, weird. We're like wearing metal shirts. We're obviously there for the festival. And he's like, dude, don't you hate it when women get equal rights as men? And we're like, it was so weird. It was
crazy.
It was really good pizza, though, there.
Yeah, it was. We had a good time going to breweries and all these things. Luckily, Baltimore's a thing, and you can walk around and do other things, but you're not at a traditional fest where you're kind of trapped, you know?
Yeah, you're not trapped. They have food there.
Yeah, but
I don't think I tried any of the food
I don't
there.
think so.
But we ended up missing Nocturnus, which I'm bummed about. Yeah. But we also went to two really cool breweries. We went to that church one.
One that was in a church.
It was cool.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah. The other one I liked the best, actually. I think the first one we went to, where I had that tomato gazpacho thing, and you got a cassette tape out of a vending machine.
Yeah, the Top Gun cassette tape.
That's right. Top Gun cassette. Yeah.
How random is that?
Yeah. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that brewery. That was really fun. So like sometimes I feel like you kind of have to make compromises like for your like health and like mental health too.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just not ready to go to that fucking outdoor stage at noon in the sun to see Nocturnus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's something that we're going to have to make more decisions about when we're in the next one. But I don't know, man. It's cool to check out a town and get a feel for the town also. You don't want to just go somewhere and just be like, oh, I didn't go anywhere except the Metal Fest. So.
Right. Well, in that first day in Baltimore, like we walked down to the waterfront and like we checked out the Walgreens there. That was pretty cool.
That's so
and
awesome.
The Dunkin' Donuts.
One time I tried to get coffee and everything was really, really busy. I didn't realize what was happening to the town.
Yeah.
Anyway, stupid. Bad story I just told.
No, that's my favorite story of the day for sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to FMK.
Fuck, marry, kill. What would you fuck? What would you marry? What would you kill?
Okay, these are classics that we would never have been able to attend, but I wonder which you would choose to fuck or to marry or to kill.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
California Jam, 1974. Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
This was in California, obviously, Ontario, California. Deep Purple, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Black Sabbath, Eagles, Earth, Wind and Fire. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
We have the US 83 Festival, starring Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, Scorpions, Van Halen, Motley Crue, and Quiet Riot, David Bowie, Stevie Nicks, Pretenders, Joe Walsh, Oingo Boingo. Okay. The Clash.
Okay.
The Clash. Okay. Then we have Monsters of Rock, 1984.
Oh, yeah.
AC/DC, Van Halen, Ozzy. Motley Crue as well. Dude, those were some amazing festivals. Would have been so fun to see one of these. Hard to choose.
Yeah, I might have to marry that middle one.
Okay, the US 83 with Ozzy and Judas Priest.
And Bowie.
Yep.
I'd have to marry that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's the idea with these fuck, marry, kills to make one of them really unappealing, because you don't want to kill any of these, you know?
That's what makes it hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to kill the Monsters of Rock, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And fuck the first one with Sabbath.
Nice.
I mean, I love the Monsters of Rock one, but it's almost like a little bit too close to my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like
if you're going to go back in time, you might as well make it really special. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I mean, I've seen Ozzy and Sabbath, but not ideal. Either one of them, you know, ideal times or lineups.
Well, Motley Crue in Van Halen 1984, that would have been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I saw Van Halen in like 85, 86, maybe.
Nice.
Whenever 5150 came out is when I saw them.
Oh, so that was Hagar area, right? Yeah.
It was Hagar area. Era.
Hagar area.
It was also area. But I saw David Lee Roth solo around that time too.
Oh, Steve Vai on guitar.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
That would have been cool.
He only played for about 15 minutes because someone threw a Jack Daniels bottle at him. It hit him in the head and he got pissed off and walked off stage and canceled
fucking
the rest
prima
of the show.
donna, dude.
Yeah. It was just a fucking Jack Daniels bottle in the head.
Take it, man.
Like,
take it.
Like, whatever, man. Come on.
People were probably
pay you
pissed,
for?
that Van Halen broke up. So.
Yeah, the whole thing was odd. But yeah, I think that's what I'd have to do. What about you?
So fuck implies like a one night stand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I would fuck the US 83 because seeing Ozzy and Priest would be like a really fun experience, obviously. But marrying, I would do the Sabbath. Sabbath in 74 would be pretty incredible. Even the Eagles in 74 would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then, same as you, I'd have to kill the AC/DC Van Halen. Although, that's pretty impressive, man. That'd be really fun. I know.
Yeah.
And these are original, like, U.S. festivals. You know, they didn't happen too often. Not every year, even, I think. They just kind of sporadically happen. But it's cool that they were going on.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. That's
Maybe
awesome.
maybe actually the U.S. was the one that started these things, with Woodstock and shit, and then the Europeans perfected it, made it better, and then the U.S. started taking back control, is trying to right now, with their
I mean, I think that is the story. I think that Americans did have the first festivals like that.
Yeah.
There's that European festival, Glastonbury,
Yeah, right.
which would be really cool to see too.
Reading Fest, I think that's in England as well.
Oh, yeah.
The Isle of Wight Festival was a classic one
Yep.
back in the day. Jimmy played that, shit like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Americans, not we, but Americans, I think it started in America, and then Europeans perfected it, and now America's trying to catch up.
Yep. But we're catching up with fucking Coachella and shit. I mean, I don't know, man. Burning Man, maybe they were cool at one time, but I think we passed the prime on those things. So maybe there'll be newer ones that come around.
Yeah, I think so. Let's move on to T-shirt of the day.
It's T-shirt of the day. It's a T-shirt of the day.
Ew, what are you wearing?
Let's find out. It's a T-shirt of the day.
Oh, yeah. I spontaneous Exodus.
Oh,
shirt
yeah,
on.
Exodus. Exodus.
Yeah, that was a
Nice.
great show. We saw Testament, Exodus, and Anthrax, yeah? Testament? Was Death
no.
Angel. Death Angel.
No, I didn't. I couldn't go.
You didn't go
I
to
gave my
that?
ticket
Oh,
to Tyson.
Oh, yeah, it was right before MDF. Yeah, it was a couple days before.
Yep. No, Tyson went instead.
Okay, yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah. All right, I've got. Here, let me move my camera. Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube.
Nice. The other ice.
Yeah. The other ice. Yeah, I had to bring up both ices for that one for sure.
Would you fuck or marry Ice Cube or Ice T? You can't kill either of those guys.
I would marry Ice Cube. Fuck Ice T.
Oh, mine's the opposite. I would marry Ice T in a heartbeat, dude.
I'm an NWA type of guy.
Yeah, well, they're both legends, of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ice
Both
T is
legends.
just so prolific, even with body count and shit.
Oh,
I
for
don't know.
sure.
I love his solo stuff. Just as a musician, he's so great.
Oh yeah. No, it's good stuff. All right, man. We should wrap this up.
Yep.
This was a lot of fun talking about music fests.
Mm-hmm.
As always, earthandsound.org for the website. Check out our Spotify playlist, which is in the link tree. Write us at hate.pod.music@gmail.com. And we've got a Agalock show February 17th, San Francisco. I've got a new Snares of Sixes single being released on February 9th
Nice.
through Nefarious Industries. And Nick, you have a new Dolvin thing coming out, right?
New Dolvin single. It's Friday. Today's Wednesday, so Friday the 26th. It's
Nice.
just an acoustic. I had my daughter play cello on it. It's just like a winter, somber, melancholy song. So, excited.
Nice.
Yeah. Turned out
Awesome.
real good.
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
An Earth in Sound production.